So get ready, folks, because we're about to plunge straight into New South Wales, Australia's original state. Yes, that's right, where it all began. This place is packed with history, breathtaking landscapes, and enough cultural quirks to make even a kangaroo hop with excitement. Whether you're a history enthusiast, a beach lover, or someone who thinks they know what Vegemite really tastes like, spoiler alert, you probably don't. New South Wales offers an experience that will surprise and delight. From its rich cultural heritage to its stunning coastal landscapes, there's something here for every kind of traveler. Whether you're seeking adventure, relaxation, or a little bit of both. Now, let's start with a little bit of history before we dive into all the good stuff. First things first, history. In 1770, Captain James Cook arrived, probably without sunscreen. He claimed the east coast for Britain and named it New South Wales because, apparently, Wales wasn't new enough. But it wasn't all good vibes and koalas, folks. Before Europeans arrived, Indigenous Australians had been living here for over 60,000 years. That's like 299 Marvel movie phases of human history. The Aboriginal people of New South Wales had, and still have, rich cultures, languages, and deep connections to the land. That's right, the true originals. Fast forward to 1788. The British turned New South Wales into a penal colony because, why not? Apparently, they needed somewhere to send all their pickpockets and street artists. Today, the state has turned itself into something a bit more glamorous, but we'll get to that. Speaking of glamour, let's talk about Sydney. Ah, yes, Sydney, the jewel of New South Wales. Famous for three things: beaches, the Opera House, and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Let's face it, you're probably imagining Sydney right now, thinking of two iconic landmarks, the Sydney Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. One's a place where fancy people go to watch even fancier performances, and the other is a giant climb me if you dare ladder over the water. But here's a pro tip for your Instagram feed. You can climb the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Yep, for a small fee. Small being relative here, like $300. You too can dangle yourself high above the harbor and pretend you're auditioning for the next Mission Impossible. Now how can we forget Bondi Beach? This place is an Aussie icon, mate. It's where locals go to catch waves and tourists go to catch sunburn. Seriously, bring sunscreen. Bondi is famous for its golden sand and crystal clear waters. But Bondi isn't the only beach in town. New South Wales has about 2,137 kilometers of coastline. That's like a whole lot of beach. You've got Palm Beach, where the Aussie soap opera Home and Away is filmed. Then there's Manly Beach, where you can catch a ferry from Circular Quay, eat some fish and chips, and live your best beach bum life. Needed a break from the surf and sand? Head west to the Blue Mountains. Now, don't be fooled by the name. They're not actually blue, and they're not just mountains. But trust me, you'll feel like you've stepped into an oil painting. Check out the Three Sisters. No, not a girl band. It's a rock formation that has a cool Aboriginal legend behind it. If you're into scenic lookouts, Echo Point will give you a view that'll make your Instagram followers jealous, guaranteed. After all that hiking, you're probably thirsty. Good news, Hunter Valley is here for you. Just a couple hours north of Sydney, this region is Australia's oldest wine region. You can sample some of the country's finest wines, and by sample, I mean drink enough Shiraz to start thinking you're a wine connoisseur. Now, let's get wild. New South Wales is not just beaches and city skylines. It's home to some of Australia's most unique wildlife. In fact, in the outback, you'll meet kangaroos, wallabies, and wombats. And yes, they're just as cute and weird as they sound. Just look at this little guy, Wombats are like if you combined a bear with a potato. They may look slow, but these furry tanks can run up to 40 kilometers per hour. Imagine being outrun by a potato. Now, if you're more of a night owl than a nature lover, New South Wales has you covered. Sydney's nightlife is like a Vegemite sandwich, strong, bold, and an acquired taste. The city has everything from rooftop bars with stunning views to hidden speakeasies that make you feel like a character in a detective movie. Don't miss the suburb like Newtown, where hipsters gather like Pokemon with their craft beers and artisan avocado toast. If you're into festivals, Vivid Sydney is an annual light show that turns the entire city into an Instagram paradise. Trust me, if you haven't seen the Sydney Opera House glowing in rainbow colors, you haven't lived. Just south of Sydney is a hidden gem, the Royal National Park, also known as Nasho to the cool kids. This place is the second oldest national park in the world, but it doesn't look a day over 100. You can hike, swim, and even check out the figure-8 pools, nature's way of saying, why use a regular pool when you can have a pool shaped like infinity? Now, believe it or not, New South Wales isn't all about sunburns and sandcastles. Head inland to the snowy mountains. In winter, it transforms into a skier's paradise. Yep, you can ski in Australia. It's not all sunburn and surfboards here, folks. Try out Thredbo or Perisher for some serious snow action. Just remember, snowball fights are encouraged, but losing them with dignity is a skill. Now, it wouldn't be an Aussie trip without food. New South Wales is all about that Aussie cuisine. Let's start with the iconic meat pie. It's basically Australia's version of fast food, only it's flaky, meaty, and 1,000 times better than whatever that thing is you ordered last night. So there you have it. New South Wales, a state where history meets culture, where beaches meet mountains, and where you'll probably meet a kangaroo or two. Whether you're in it for the wine, the wildlife, or the Instagram-worthy views, this place has a little something for everyone. So pack your bags, slap on some sunscreen, and come see what New South Wales has to offer. Trust me, you won't regret it, but you might regret not bringing enough SPF. Catch ya later, mate.